This is Thomas from Believe in the Run.
This is Robbe from Believe in the Run.
And today we're talking about the New Balance FuelCell
RC Elite.
Super Shoe. Robbie, let's get into this shoe because we've been waiting for it for a long time and it's finally here.
Yeah, the TC Elite, not TC Elite, just the TC, FuelCell TC.
Yeah.
Came out back in February-ish, early spring, and we love that shoe. I know you loved it. Widefoot Jared even loved it. He fitted
Yeah,
into
he
it.
stole mine.
Yeah, he literally just lifted them when Thomas was snoozing.
Yeah. So the TC stands for training competition, where the RC stands for racing competition. And I think the only difference was when they were testing it, they're like, this is a really good shoe. It needs to lose weight. So we'll have the racer. The shoe is very similar in setup. This one is, I thought, softer because it feels less stable, but turns out this one's foam, from talking to New Balance, is actually the softest use of FuelCell so far.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah, so just think of this one as a little bit heavier. Still, you get that fun bounce, you get that spring off the toe from the plate, but
We've moved on.
we've moved on to the RC.
Thomas, let's start with the upper.
All right, so New Balance got rid of anything that would add weight to this shoe. Really simple mesh upper. There's some 3D printed overlays that kind of help give it a little bit of structure, but they're super minimal. Just enough to give the shoe some upper rigidity where you need it. There's a little bit of padding and bump in the heel counter. You've kind of got that elf here. You got a padded tongue. It's very thin. The padding is only there to protect you from the laces. There's not much to talk about here other than it fits and it breathes.
It's all you want.
So let's get down to the magic.
Now we've seen FuelCell since last year in a lot of shoes throughout the New Balance line. Tell me how it feels in this particular version, because one of the things we've had in the past is that FuelCell feels completely different from shoe to shoe. Depending on the durometer, we've had some that we loved, we've had some not so much.
Yeah, if you really want to geek out, the FuelCell comes in different durometers, but it also comes in different gravities. And what that means is how much air is actually in the foam. And that air is gonna make it feel lighter, bouncier, but it also can sometimes take some of the life out of it. In this case, you've got a FuelCell midsole with a plate in it, and the plate is kind of shaped like a spoon. So imagine you're coming through here and it comes down, and that's where it's gonna give you that lever. So you have soft cushioning for the miles, a little bit of bounce, and a plate to move you forward. What's interesting is talking to New Balance, they actually built this shoe on the 1400s platform, which was one of the popular shoes. This shoe's built on that premise, and you get down to this midsole, it's light, it's spongy, it reacts quickly, but it feels a little familiar. You're also gonna see it has a light flare out on the lateral side or outside edge, Robbie. You notice that?
Yep, I see it.
Talking to New Balance, we're hearing that as they study stuff for the 5280, that there's a slight roll that happens at higher speeds that can be helped by this and guide you back in. Now, it's not as severe as it is in the 5280 because what you're gonna be doing in this is longer mileage, and your form's probably not gonna hold up as well as it would over the mile. So it's a little less pronounced, but still gives you that support and rolls you through. There's a method to the madness.
Moving on to the outsole, this is a little bit of a different design. I believe the 5280 had a similar design too.
So this is the 5280 that we're talking about, and you can see it's very extreme. It's actually one of the prettiest shoes I've ever seen.
It's basically a Cinderella slipper.
Yeah.
I mean, it's that light and just airy. And
You can't tell, but it's like iridescent. There's sparkles on it. Like, this thing's a unicorn.
yeah.
Yeah. You can see on the outsole, they use these diamond patterns here to give you that super grip, and you've got it here on the marathon shoe, the RC. I was like, well, they look like they could peel off.
I thought for sure like one run in they would just pop off.
No, they're on there. They're on there for the haul. And it's interesting, we wanted to know what the lifespan of this FuelCell, of the outsole, the whole shoe. If you're gonna spend this much money on a racing shoe, what can you expect on it as far as durability? And New Balance is testing that you can get 2 marathon training cycles out of this shoe.
Oh, like cycles?
Cycles.
Okay.
Now, I don't think they think you're using the shoe for your daily runs,
Right.
but like a few of your tempo runs, maybe a couple of your
Wow.
long mile runs, and then race day, you're still gonna feel the benefits of the FuelCell.
I mean, come race day, are you still putting on a pair of freshies though?
I mean, for me, I have the luxury of the shoe rack, I like a fresh shoe, but for most people, if you're running, say, middle of the pack or so, you don't necessarily need all the benefits of a fresh shoe. You're still gonna get the maximum amount of the shoe, most likely, out of that race. And what was interesting to note is I've always had kind of like a guess that even for us that are not elite athletes, that aren't running sub 2:30 marathons and stuff like that, are we getting the benefits out of these shoes? And there's a study.
Yeah, that New Balance mentioned, and I've actually read it a couple weeks ago, I think.
These super shoes are actually benefiting like 9-minute milers the most because of the cushioning. They're on their feet longer. So these really help in those situations. So if you're a slower runner and you're like, I don't want to look like I'm trying to be,
Kipchoge.
Yeah, Kipchoge. You can still throw on one of these shoes and get a benefit out of it. And it's gonna make your legs feel fresher and you're gonna do better in the marathon. So
I mean, at the end of the day, it's like a good shoe is a good shoe for anyone.
that's what I've been trying to tell people.
It's true.
Yeah, and that's why we like good shoes. Megan did some longer runs. She's preparing to do the virtual Boston. She's used his shoes for a couple. She loved them, took them right out of the box again, and did high mileage. I think it was like a 20-mile run, and then has done some other workouts in it. She likes it a lot. I've taken it out. I've done a faster 10-mile run in these shoes. I wasn't going for any specific paces because don't need to right now, but I ended up running about 10 to 15 seconds slower than my marathon pace, but I wasn't trying, so it was like I was just grooving and having a nice run and still in that range of where I want to be for my marathon.
Now, if you had to compare this to another racer that's out there, what would you compare it to?
It's kind of funny because they're all getting a little bit unique now.
Yeah.
So I put it in that Hyperion Elite 2. I put it with the Endorphin Pro. I'd throw it near the Vaporfly Next Percent. For me, that one still holds like kind of like the spot, but I think this shoe is there. Like, it would be a choice to make. Like, I'd have to do a test run in those and a test run in these and see which one I was going to use for race day. I think this is a great alternative. They all have their own personalities. This one, the upper is great. I feel like the cushioning is dialed in very nicely. The plate feels good underfoot. Overall, the landing and roll off feel is nice in the shoe. It's a 10mm drop with a 32-22 differential. Mine is size 10.5, weighed 7.95 ounces or 224 grams.
If you drop that down to the standard size 9, it comes in at just a touch above the Endorphin Pro or the Hyperion Elite 2. It's, I believe, like 7.2 range or something.
Okay. It's right in line with a light, fast feeling shoe. The turnover is smooth in this. My legs felt great after my runs. I did also just a regular hill workout in these, and it was fun with the grip underneath and just the light feeling underfoot. I was able to kind of get into like a rhythm really easily. So again, striders, everything.
Nice.
It is a fun shoe.
And you know what? It's a pretty good looking shoe too.
Yeah.
I think I like the women's colorway a little bit better.
You usually get the women's colorway.
I usually do.
Yeah.
I'm not on the neon wagon like the whole way.
I like the neon for race day. It's exciting, it's bright. You're throwing on the shoe. It looks good.
Yeah.
So it falls in line with the other super shoes, around $200, $250, which is vague.
It's just in somewhere in that range of all shoes.
Yeah, it could be under 300. We don't know. Yeah. So it falls in there. I think you have to put it on your list to try, especially if you're a New Balance fan or like the way that New Balance fits.
Or if you're
gonna love this shoe.
Or if you like the FuelCell TC.
Yeah.
I think it'd be a good partner for that.
Yeah, absolutely. Hopefully we're gonna get a pair for Jared to run in so we can see how it does with the wide foot, because he was able to wear the TC and try that out. So if we get another pair in, we're gonna give it to Jared.
And new colorways come in a couple months, I think?
Yeah, October, I think.
Yeah.
So we'll get those to him. He'll add it to his wide foot roundup. And I know people are digging that. You know what would be great? I think if people saw our Instagram feed, they'd be like, I need to follow that account. I think if you saw our YouTube channel, which you're not seeing this without that, you'd be like, I want to subscribe. I want to thumbs up that video. It makes a special noise when you thumbs up ours. It's different than everybody else's.
Yeah,
try
it out.
Also, join our Facebook group. We've got a great group of people in there talking about shoes, talking about running, just whatever you want to geek out about. And then on top of that,
get in our Strava club. Boom.
Strava club. We want to see your running. You can check out our running.
Yeah, stalk us.
Yeah.
All right.
That's it from Believe in the Run Studios.
Yep.
Yeah.
Here live in Baltimore.
Yeah,
Not
Baltimore, as Robbie says.
That's how they say it.
It's like people with no hair live here, Baltimore. All right, we'll see you soon. The stableness of the midsole under your foot.
Stableness, real word.
It could be stableness.
Stability.
Maybe it's stability. I'm not a learned doctor.
I am.
Yeah, this is a house of learned doctors. And what's interesting... Okay, yeah. So let's talk about the upper. You okay with that?
Yeah.
Joking. Let me...
Just kidding, you're all special to us.
Yeah, each one's is a snowflake? Is that what is special?
Yeah, each one is a snowflake.
Yeah.
I think you're allowed to still call
It's snowflake? I think snowflakes are bad now. Yeah, nobody wants to be a snowflake. And they melt really fast.
You're a piece of dirt.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Sweat smells.
Turns out it's true.
Yeah,
Speaking of science, we may not be doctors, but we are scientists.
Yeah, we're learned scientists.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Time out real quick. Should we bring in the women's version?
Yeah.
Because...
All right. We'll bring it down in a second. You want me to run and get it?
It'd probably be good for the review. I meant to bring it up earlier.
Good answer, son.
I'm gonna pretend I'm using this shoe as a phone. Hello? Oh, yeah. Yeah, the usual. Yeah, you can put some pepperonis on it too. Pineapple? Nah, pineapple. I mean, I can do it, but weird with pepperoni. Okay. Oh, you have a special going on right now? Really? Yeah, I mean, might as well double down. Yeah, I'll take a second one with, man, put all the toppings on there. You know what? Throw in an order of breadsticks and some chicken poppers too, with that boom boom sauce. And you just have it, bill it to Thomas Newberger. Yeah. I don't want to throw the shoe.
You don't have to throw. We're just gonna put it down.
Okay.
Gently. There we go. We're done throwing shoes.
Cool.